You guys nice like that cold weather this morning?
Bro, anybody could practice today.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
How's the team moving around today?
Well, a lot of spirits. It's a big ball game. So you try to pretend like it's not, and you try to. They're all the same, and triangle toughness, culture, and all those things we believe win the day. But media is important. Kids listen to y'all, and when y'all make a big deal out of stuff, they respond, and they can tell it's a big ball game. Both teams 3-0 on ESPN, and they want to show up. They want to play well, so they're excited and they're practicing really well.
You talked Monday about Sincere not having the best footing and kind of getting it fixed at halftime. What goes into that? Is that like a cleats thing, or what happened there?
Yeah, it was him and Stretch got that figured out at halftime, and there's always just different stuff. It's one of the most important things for you get to any surface is go out there and pregame, make sure you're good to go. And obviously, we didn't do a good a job warming up as we should have. So, it's something we put down, trying to fix. In this business, it's always something. And you'd think as many years as you've been doing this, and many times you played, and especially at home in the Alamo Dome, it wouldn't be an issue. But you got different uniforms, different cleats. Style's big nowadays, and recruiting's important. So sometimes, you forget about the most important thing, which is do your cleats work, what they look like.
He had the same thing in Illinois. It felt like at times that he was slipping there too. Was it a similar deal?
I don't remember. It was a little slick that day, so it could have been the surface more. But that Alamo Dome, it's always 72. Even though it did feel a little warmer Saturday than normal. I don't know. I don't know if it was 72. The heat might have snuck in there a little bit on us. It seemed like a little hotter than me.
Jeff, I want to ask you about the run game this season. How would you assess how you guys have performed rushing?
Considering all the lineup changes again, I'd say we're a C. We're not where we want to be yet. But it's hard. I'm not trying to make a soft bed for Coach Maddox and my brother who, coach those kids up there. But it's hard when you juggle people. And also everybody in the country knows that's what we want to do. So it creates a lot of easier throws for us. And we've shown that to show up as well. But I'd say we're about a C right now if I had to grade us.
I think at the beginning of the season you said you wanted to be 2/3 rush, but kind of the same yardage. Is that stuff kind of skewed because of the big win, or because it seems like it's a little bit of the opposite?
Yeah, well, I think it depends on the opponent you play too, right? Illinois they put everybody in there, and so did Middle Tennessee. It's just so many guys in there, and so we had 90 snaps Saturday and around there. I think we threw it at 50-50. We'd rather be, like you said, 35% pass, 65% run with an equal yardage. It's very rare that why do you even say that then? Well, that's the way we build our offense. We plan it that way. But when you get there, down and distance matters, score matters, penalties, we got backed up last week. And we got too happy with the pass, honestly, at times too. We just fell too in love with it. And, so that's what that is. We're still very committed to that 2-to-1 run to pass, but 50-50 yardage count.
What about your red zone offense? How would you grade that as well so far this season?
I'd say if we're great, since we're 3-0, I'd give us a D. If we're 1-2, I'd say an F. Just too many field goals, and we got a really good kicker, so I'm going to err on that. But yeah, we got to be better down there, and we're studying the heck out of it. Is it scheme? What is it? What are we doing wrong down there right now? And we're not bad, but for our standards, we're not where we want to be.
When people like us, and I apologize if you answered this yesterday, we had a scheduled conflict, but when people like us and the fans see that Memphis got to 3-0 by upsetting an SEC school, does that knock you back, or did you already know that Memphis was pretty darn good?
Oh yeah, Memphis has been that way for a long time. It's not probably the first Power 5 team they've upset, I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't studied them like that. I'm sure you guys know them better than I do. I just, since I was at SMU, we're pretty familiar with them. And no, it doesn't surprise me. We want to be there one day. We want to be that one day where when people watch us play, they might not pick us to win, or we might not be the favorite to win, but we want people to say, those guys don't ever surprise us. They show up, and that's just what Memphis does. And getting them at home, I mean, that would be pretty cool, you know, to get one of those guys in here in the Alamo Dome. That always helps too. You know, we got to go on the road to get ours done.
What's the status of Spencer Burford at this point? How's he looking for this weekend?
It'll be a game time decision. We'll just have to see.
What impact did you feel like it had not having him last weekend?
I don't even think about it. Meach did a great job, and so did Mississippi. And 91 just happened to be their best player. So, I mean, he showed up because he's their best player. So you can imagine, you know, we've got a few really good players, but he's comparable to some of our really good players. And so Meach and Sip had their hands full out there.
Jeff, I think the odds makers have you about a 3-point underdog on the road. That's almost like a push. What's your reaction to, I guess, the experts thinking you guys are that close to them?
You know, I don't know, JJ. That's a great question. Maybe they're starting to think we're getting a little better. I don't know. To me, we're still an underdog. I mean, so I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, honestly, JJ. Not to dismiss your question, but I don't know what that means. I'll let you know Saturday about 6.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Cool. Thanks,
Appreciate
Jeff.
it.
Appreciate it.